El Gibor, God the mighty warrior. When earthly rulers parade their strength, you remain the sovereign, unseen, yet undefeated. Bend the pride of man beneath your mighty hand. Yehovah Elohi El Gibor. Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me and cover me and stir me and speak through me with your Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness and humility to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself. And you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. Esther, chapter 1. These events took place in the time of Achashverosh. The Achashverosh, who ruled over 127 provinces from India to Ethiopia. It was in those days when King Achashverosh sat on his royal throne in Shushan, the capital, in the 3rd year of his reign, that he gave a banquet for all his officials and courtiers, the army of Persia and Media, the nobles of the province, and the provincial officials were in attendance. He displayed the dazzling Aleph Tav wealth of his kingdom and Aleph Tav his great splendor for a long time, 180 days. At the end of that time, the king gave a 7-day banquet in the courtyard of the royal palace garden for all the people, both great and small, there in Shushan, the capital. There were white cotton curtains, blue hanging fastened to silver rods, with cords of fine linen and purple. The columns were marble. The couches for reclining at table were of gold and silver on a mosaic flooring of milchite, marble, mother of pearl, and onyx. Drinks were served in gold goblets, with each goblet different from the others. There was royal wine in abundance, as befits royal bounty. The drinking was not according to any fixed rule, for the king had ordered the stewards to serve each man what he wanted. Also, Vashti, the queen, gave a banquet for the women in the royal house belonging to King Achashverosh. On the 7th day, when the king was in high spirits from the wine, he ordered Mehuman, Biztah, Haravona, Begti, Avigta, Zetar, and Karkos, the 7 officers who attended Aleph Tav him, to bring Aleph Tav Queen Vashti before the king with the royal crown, in order to show the people and the officials Aleph Tav her beauty. For she was indeed a good-looking woman. But Queen Vashti refused to come at the order of the king, which he had sent through his officers. This enraged the king. His anger blazed inside him. As the king's custom, he consulted sages well versed in matters of law and justice. With him were Karshna, Shatar, Admata, Tarshish, Meres, Marsna, and Mumkan, the 7 vice regents of Persia and Media, who were part of the king's inner circle and were the most important officials in the kingdom. The king asked the sages, according to the laws, what should we do with Queen Vashti, since she didn't obey Aleph Tav, the order of the king Achashverosh, conveyed by the officers? Memucan presented the king and vice regents this answer: Vashti, the queen, has wronged not only the king, but also all the officials and the peoples in all the provinces. King Achashverosh, because this act of the queen's will became known to all the women who will start showing disrespect toward their husbands, they will say, King Achashverosh ordered Aleph Tav, Vashti, the queen, to be brought before him. but she wouldn't come. Moreover, the noble ladies of Persia and Media, who hear Aleph Tav of the queen's conduct, will mention it to all the king's officials, which will bring about no end of disrespect and discord. If it pleases his majesty, let him issue a royal decree, and let it be written as one of the laws in the Persians and Medes, which are irrevocable, that Vashti is never again to be admitted into the presence of King Ahasuerus, and that the king give her royal position to someone better than she. When the edict made by the king is proclaimed throughout the length and breadth of the kingdom, then all wives will honor their husbands, whether great or small. This advice pleased the king and the officials, so the king did what Memucan had suggested. He sent letters to all the royal provinces, to each province in its own script, and to each people in their own language, that every man should be master in his own house and speak the language of his own people. How can we learn to love our Creator? After reading this fascinating first chapter of Esther, we can love Yehovah by discerning the difference between human spectacle and holy sovereignty. Love Yehovah by trusting that even when he is not named, he is near. Love Yehovah by resisting the pride of life and anchoring it in humility. How can we love our neighbors as Yeshua loves us? By refusing to exalt appearance or status over dignity and substance. How can we bear one another's burdens? By standing in quiet solidarity when others are pressured to compromise righteousness. What are the top 3 fruits of the Spirit found? 1. Self-control. Queen Vashti's refusal to be paraded shows restraint in a culture of excess. 2. Gentleness. The silence of Yehovah's head in this chapter is not absent but patient, orchestrated. 3. Faithfulness. Even in Persian palace, Yehovah remains true to his covenant people. What is the Hebrew word that encapsulates this chapter? Mishti. Banquet, feast, or drinking party. Reference, verse 3, anchor sentence. The king's feast is a setting, but Yehovah's silent orchestration is the true power moving history. Et Sefer Insight, Mishta, amplified meaning. In the roaring waters of empire, fire consumes pride, but Yehovah's covenant breathes revelation through the spectacle. How can we find Yeshua in the scriptures? Yeshua's hidden kingship mirrors Yehovah's unseen hand in Esther. Vashti's refusal hints at the mystery of the hidden bride. The glory of Persia contrasts the eternal humility of the Messiah. What is the mitzvah response? Torah-based? Mitzvah. Exodus 20 verse 13. You shall have no other gods before me. A response might look like this: I will not worship power or prestige. I will exalt Yehovah alone, even when his hand is hidden. Hebrew declaration: Hakol nireh, bi'ani Elohim gam bitok, mashti ha-melech. All is seen by the eyes of God, even inside the king's feast. We'll end this with the Aaronic blessing on this Friday night Shabbat using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Shabbat shalom, shalom, shalom.